This is the look that we'll be creating today. So let's get into it. Yesterday's video was a little more ranty and a little less instructional, which is fun, but I do think I want to make these videos a little more instructional. Starting with the base, right? My skin is already exfoliated, it's moisturized, it's SPF. So now I'm going in with Potion 125 from Ritual Defeat, very little amount, and then I mix it with this also Ritual Defeat Creature of Light Glow Enhancer, which they don't make this anymore. It's like a slightly different product. And the reason that I mix in that glow enhancer is because it has blue and purple tones, and my skin has a lot of yellow and orange tones. Blue and purple helps cancel out yellow and orange. And if you're ever confused about what colors cancel out what other colors, just look at the color wheel, and whatever colors are opposite each other cancel each other out. And if you look at like yellow orange, you'll see kind of blue and purple opposite, right? It's helping to essentially kind of color correct my whole face a little bit. Going in with the concealer, I am shade 126. Oh, and also adding a little bit of this shade 140 foundation, which is slightly too dark for me, just in the center to mix in with the concealer. I saw a Robert Welsh video. I think he was saying that like because when something is like almost your skin tone but slightly too dark, then it's usually a little too orange for you, and orange helps cancel out purple, and obviously under eyes tend to be purple. Ready to do my version of contouring, which is very light. Since I'm using the same brush, I should be going light to dark, so I should be doing the blush first, but I don't. So going in with this Eclipse shade. It is like a dark purple. It's their Inner Glow Cream Pigment. They have like actual contour, but this is what I have, so I'm just using it. I understand the basics of contour, I just don't have a lot of experience actually doing it. It's creating shadow, so it looks like my cheekbone is kind of creating shadow on my face. But it's lies, because it's this. Well, it's not lies. I'm accentuating the shadow that's there. Since I have like a more wide face, then I find that adding a little bit of shadow here kind of helps. Instead of my like jawline looking like flat across, it creates a little bit of dimension. So it kind of pulls my chin forward a little bit. Again, these are very subtle changes. And then I'm putting a little bit down here for the same reason, to take some of this wideness in my jaw and kind of push it back a little bit. From what I've seen online, I know like you're supposed to generally put highlighter like above where you would put the blush. I just don't like how that makes my face look. Like when I put blush lower, I feel like it just kind of like pulls everything down. Versus when I put a little blush here, even though I end up just putting highlighter over it, but like adding a little bit of that pink at the top of my cheekbones, which is like where highlighter goes. But I don't know, I just like that look better, so that's what I do. The blush I'm using is the Lush Lilac shade Cream Cheek and Lip Color from Honest Beauty. And it's this really nice purple shade. You just don't see a lot of purple blushes. Like there should just be more purple and blue hues in face products. Purple is one of those colors, because it has red and blue, it has warm and cool, and so you can just kind of adjust it. You can just make it a little more warm or a little more cool toned relatively easily, because it has both of those colors already in it. I wish more face products had like purple tones, because I feel like that would be flattering, but also I'm like, what do I know? I've never made makeup, so maybe I'm wrong. I think it's eyeshadow time now. Yeah, going in with Divina Cosmetics Specular Sparkle and Shimmer Glue Base. I feel like in general, too much makeup that's warm toned and not enough that's cool toned. And this could just be because like I exist on the like goth alternative side of like makeup social media, but I don't know. I feel like I see a lot of people lamenting how there just aren't enough like cool toned products. Obviously indie brands are doing more creative things, but these larger brands are just like everything is orange and yellow all the time, warm tones everywhere. Anyway, today we're using this Spiritus Vitae palette from Sinful Echos, officially one of my favorite brands. I love these shadows so much. Going all over the lid is this shade here, Dokebi Dokubai? I don't know how to pronounce most of these shade names, but they are gorgeous, so I'm gonna apply them to my face. Going in with this silicone brush, or I could also go in with my finger. When you're applying these like glittery multi-chrome shades, it's really helpful to apply it with a brush that has like a tackiness to it, which is why, you know, our fingers are naturally kind of tacky. So our fingers are great for applying, but obviously it's harder to be precise. A brush like this is helpful because it has that pointed corner that's really nice. I honestly got these off of Amazon, even though I'm trying to not support Amazon as much. Trust me, I wish that of all the indie brush companies out there, if Prados Beauty came out with a silicone brush for like applying glitters, I would get mine from them. We're pretty much just like covering most of the lid. Like I'm coming in like a little past halfway basically, because this color is just so pretty. The next color we're going to go into is this shade right here. I believe it's called Ascension. It's this beautiful blue-based lavendery pink. I don't really want to go all the way to the corner. I'm just brightening up from about like halfway into the lid to like a little farther in. To do a really good blend, like when you're blending your eyeshadow, part of that is just literally going back and forth between the two shadows that you're blending together, patting both of them across that like line where they meet, you know? I've used the silicone brush, but I just want to go in and just like add a little more intensity. I will go in with my finger, so that's what I'm doing now. Like, look how reflective that is. It's just stunning. Also with my finger, I'm gonna go into that pink shade. Cool toned, purpley pink. Next, I am gonna use these two shades, but they are more sheer. I want to give them like a more pigmented base so they can really like glow off of that. I'm going into this Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge, also referred to as Sugar and Redacted palette, because apparently some business sent them some bullshit cease and desist because they claimed that they own the word grunge, which is so absurd. Also, that is very not punk of you. Cease and desist over ownership of the word grunge. Like, palette is obviously not available anymore because she had to stop selling it, but apparently she is going to like re-release it under a different name. But I do think these are beautiful. Once again, I've removed the shimmers and added my own, not my own, added Cleona's shimmers, multi-chromes shadows. I'm gonna go into this light green shade, Ironic, and this bright blue Candy. Using this small, this is the Prados Beauty P17 brush. It's like small and it's flat. So when you want to pack on color, you want flat. And since I'm going into the inner corner, I'm going for a smaller, like a smaller size, so I can really get in that corner, be more precise. Okay, it's so funny because on camera, this one looks more blue and this one looks more green, but in real life, this has more of a blue glow. And this one looks more gold. I love this palette so much. It's so pretty. All the palettes I have. This is one of my favorites. This is the shade Incantation. This is the shade Dalnim. I'll take whatever like shade is like the innermost like highlight color, and I'll just kind of like feather it up a little bit. I feel like it creates some little dimension. I feel like it helps lift the eye a little bit. Starting with P15. Prados Beauty brush. I'm just going to add a little bit of this Dokkaebi shade. I'm not going to go very far because I don't want to create a lot of darkness, because like the majority of my top lid like has that darkness. I don't want to create a lot of darkness on the lower lash line because I want to maintain that visual balance. Then I'm going to go into the pink shade, this one right here. I'm essentially mirroring what I did on top, except instead of going from this shade to this shade, I'm actually going to jump into this one. Personally, I don't like warm toned eyeshadows on the lower lash line. Anything too red or pink can kind of create the illusion of like bloodshot eyes, and I already have bloodshot eyes because I don't get enough sleep, so I don't need anything to like accentuate that. So I only use cool tones. If I do line with pink, it's going to be a cool toned pink like this one. Usually my default is like a cool toned purple. I'd be hard pressed to think of a makeup look where you couldn't incorporate a purple lower lash line and have it match. You could do a cool tone purple, warm tone purple, like there's so many directions you could go in. Silvery purple. Anyway, speaking of, we're gonna go into that right now. This lavender silver color. Now we're gonna clean up because I'm like gonna like blend out and like diffuse the edge of this. I want something that's a little fluffier. Also, it's really helpful to just like use a very light hand. Like in general, even if you're depositing color, just like be very like gentle with yourself. Liner brush, going in with this P13 slanted. I start the outer corners and kind of brush my way in, and then I go to the inner corners and I brush my way into the center, and so they meet in the middle. Going in with the Ritual Defy Levitation Lash Mascara. I just watched a video from Robert Welsh where he says wiggle as you kind of pull up gently. That wiggle is separating the lashes. I love that shadow, that like silver shadow on the lower lash line is so pretty. I love that palette so much. Look how stunning that like lavender silver is. All of her multi-chromes just have this wet shine to them that's just so beautiful, like especially that silver. I think now we do the rest of the face. P29 brush, perfect highlighter brush for me because it just melts it into the skin. This is the Kaleidos Space Age Gifted highlighter. Just putting it kind of like in the front here. Going with the Cat Shark highlighter from Black Moon Cosmetics, which is a purple. Basically the idea is I'm putting highlighter along where the like peak of the cheekbone is. In general, you want to put highlighter on the peaks of your face. So if you were lying down, what would be the highest points of your face? That's where you put your highlighter. And I'm just using different colors because it's fun. I did the pink one, and then I'm doing the purple one on top, and then I'm going in with this jellyfish, which is the blue, and I'm going all the way up here. So I'm going over where I put the blush because I just like how that looks. Going in with this Moonworks lavender setting powder. All of my face products, the foundation, the blush, the little bit of contour, are all cream products. It's helpful to, when you're done with all that, add a little bit of powder. It helps mattify, it helps everything look more matte and like nice. Also helps all these liquid products stay on your skin a little bit better. Okay, I forgot, I did want to add a little bit of, this is the Menagerie Cosmetics Blue Tang. See how it's nice and blue and shiny? I wanted to add a little bit in the like inner corners. Dualism Beauty Crystal Gel. Squirt a little out onto the back of my hand. This happens to be the Half Magic crystals. I don't remember what they're called, and it's not worth remembering because this is not, they're not worth the money. Because they're supposed to be self-adhesive, but the little stickies stay on the paper. You pull the gem off, and the stickies stay on the paper, which is dumb. That is cute. The ones I used on the gemstones on the inner corners that like have that transparent base. It's the transparent AB. This is a 3mm. You get 2,000 of them for like $4 from Glitter Delight. Those are not a perfect dupe for these because these have, as you can see, silver backs, but the Crystal AB from Glitter Delight are perfect dupes, and they're so much cheaper. Every single godforsaken lip product that exists in the world is warm toned and orange. I want a nude that is cool toned. That's all I want because these lips are naturally very pink, and I don't like how that looks. I want them neutralized. I want them cool toned. So, Passion eyeliner, but I used it as a lip liner. If my lip line was like a little hill and from my mouth it went up and then down, I'm putting my pencil on the point where it's like you're just starting that decline. Like very, very, very slightly overlining. I'm going in with the Unicorn Gang Mauve Over liquid lipstick. And I'm doing a relatively light application and softly kind of feather in that darker lip liner. This is a little, I don't remember what it's called. I think it was popularized by the brand Fwee, F-W-E-E. I find that it works really well to help blend out that lip liner line. This is the Dolly Beauty Birthday Suit lipstick. I think I'm gonna add a little touch of this purple highlighter, like just a whisper of it to the Cupid's bow. This is the final look.